Good afternoon, TEDxHanoi. Thank you for having me here. And I know it's been a long day for you. And here I have some advice for you too. Too much advice, right? But first, I think that we should start with a game. Another game. I have two options for you to choose to. But I don't have the real objects here because they are real big. And option one, you are crying in a Lamborghini. And option two, you are being happy in a struggling home. Now who chooses the Lamborghini? Please show me your hands. No one. Please, really, Lamborghini, it's Lamborghini. And now who chooses the home? Okay, you want to be happy in a small home. Yeah, because you choose you, right? You just speak. But if you ask me that question, then my answer is simple. I'll choose both. I want to be happy in a Lamborghini. Why not, right? Why not? So, for years, people, especially my parents, they are here, sitting here, listening to my talk, have questioned me. Are you choosing wealth or choosing yourself? Because they all think that I chase after money. So today I'm here to tell you a story and to tell my parents' story too. But the thing is, what if we didn't have to choose? That's what I thought. What if we could have both? So today, I'm not here as an entrepreneur, as a clinician, or a lecturer. I'm here as a storyteller. And I want to share how we can be true to ourselves and build real wealth at the same time. Why not, right? So first of all, why do we think we have to choose? Because we are all taught that we must pick one. Either chase wealth, but risk losing our identity and happiness, or stay true to ourselves, but struggle financially. But this is a false dilemma, right? It's like asking, do you want food or water? Because we need both of them to survive. So why do we believe success means sacrificing ourselves? Because we often see these two extremes. The first one is choosing passion, but not wealth. Thinking of artists who dedicate their lives to their craft, but struggle to make ends meet. Think of people who follow their dreams, but never find financial security. In Asia, especially, how many families truly support their children to follow arts, sports, or unconventional careers? Passion is beautiful, but without financial stability, it can become exhausting, a constant battle for survival. Then there's the other side. People who chase money at any cost. I've met brilliant entrepreneurs who built multi-million-dollar businesses but lost themselves along the way. They sacrifice time with family, health, and even their integrity. We've all seen scandals, leaders, CEOs, founders who compromise everything for wealth only to lose it all in the end. So if neither extreme works, then what's the answer? Choosing both. Or neither, right? We can choose neither. You don't have to choose at all. People who choose neither don't know what they want at all. They live life on autopilot. They follow the traditional script society writes for them. Go to school, get a degree, find a job, get married, have kids, and retire, and die. And they never stop to ask, who am I? Or what do I actually want? So to me, a life without self-awareness is a wasted life. I've seen this group firsthand, my own students. Fresh in the world of adulthood, lost all the time. That's why apart from being their lecturer, I somehow end up being their psychologist, even their life coach, and sometimes even their emergency contact, when they break their heart by falling in love with the red flags. So how do you choose both? Let's break it down into 5 steps, and I won't just give you advice, I show you how I lived through each one. So here's my story. 10 years ago, I returned to Vietnam after years of studying abroad. I was stubborn, determined to follow my passion. I became a lecturer at a prestigious medical university in Hanoi, and at the same time, I worked in the hospitals, treating patients. But reality hit me hard. My salary wasn't enough to support myself. I still relied on my parents, and I could only see 20 pediatric patients a day. And many came too late for treatment. That's that. I realized that if I truly wanted to make a difference, I had to scale my impact. And to do that, I needed financial independence. That's why I built my own business, Vision Kit, the first pediatric eye clinic system in Vietnam. Not to get rich, but to create a sustainable system where more children could get the treatment they needed on time. And in doing so, I found a way to align my passion with financial growth. So today, I stand here not because I chase money, but because I built something valuable, something that made people's lives better. And as a result, the money followed. So here's how I did it. The first step to choosing both is understanding who you are. For me, I was always drawn to logic and problem solving. I loved science. I loved clarity. That's why I studied medicine. But after graduation, I still didn't know what my strengths were. I knew I loved making things clear, whether explaining a concept to students or patients. Over time, I discovered so much more. I realized I had the patience to explain complex ideas to both students and patients, the courage to take on challenging cases, and the leadership to organize activities for my students. And I also found that I could inspire others, students to believe in their long-term growth, and patients to stay committed to their treatments. And I knew I was doing something right when students who usually slept in class stayed awake in mine. Not out of fear, but because they loved my lectures. I know that because they even make videos of me to post on their Instagram and Facebook stories. Really. In the end, inspiring others became what I valued most in myself. So now ask yourself, what drives you? What kind of work makes you feel alive? And what could you do for hours without getting bored? When you deeply know yourself, you can align your career and business with what truly fulfills you. Step 2, invest in growth. Passion alone is not enough. Skill turns passion into success. When I opened my first clinic, I poured everything into it: money, energy, sleepless nights. I worked from sunrise to midnight, treating patients, managing staff, handling paperwork, doing whatever it takes to keep the doors open. After 12 exhausting months, I finally broke even, and it felt like victory to me. But then, silence. The stream of patients slowed. Some days, the waiting room is empty. The phone stopped ringing. No new clients, no growth, no way to scale. I had given everything to this clinic, yet I was stuck, watching it plateau. That's when the painful truth hit me. I didn't know how to do a business. So I could diagnose, prescribe, and treat, but I was clueless about operations, marketing, and expansion. And if I didn't figure it out, all my efforts would amount to nothing. So I made the hardest decision in my career. I stepped away. I quit. I left my own business to study for an MBA. For years, I dived deep into strategy, finance, and leadership. I learned how to think like a business owner, not just a clinician. When I came back, I didn't just continue. I rebuilt. From branding to customer experience to financial planning, I applied everything I have learned step by step. And today, we are not just surviving. Luckily, we are thriving. Because I finally understood that running a business isn't just about expertise in your field, it's about learning how to build, grow, and lead. It was such a relief that I put it off. Otherwise, I would have fallen into the classic choose you, not rich category, that you follow your dream and then go broke, right? And then my parents would have endless proof to yell at me every time saying, see, We told you, and now go do the things that we think is right for you. Sad to say that that was not an option. So now ask yourself, how can I become the best in my field? What skills do I need to develop? And what knowledge gaps do I need to fill? Because when you're great at what you do, wealth follows you naturally. Step 3, seek mentors. One of the biggest mistakes people make, thinking they have to figure it all out alone. But the smartest people, they seek guidance. I've had many mentors throughout my journeys, but there was one who came at exactly the right time. When I was facing some of the toughest challenges in leading my business, he wasn't just an experienced entrepreneur, he was the vice director of the largest general hospital system in Vietnam. And he had already navigated the complex world of healthcare business, and his guidance saved me years of trial and error. He helped me see the opportunities I would have never considered, and most importantly, helped me avoid costly mistakes that could have set me back for years. If you don't have access to a mentor in real life, then books, podcasts, and even courses are the next best thing. Success leaves clues, so study those who have walked the path before you. Step 4, align passion with impact. Let's be real. Money is not evil, right? Money is not evil. Money is a tool. And that allows us to scale our impact. Helping one person is good, but helping 1 million is better. And to buy back our time, freedom. Freedom to spend time with family, travel, to explore, and to give back. Build opportunities for others. When I worked at the hospital, I saw 20 pediatric patients a day, and that was my limit. But by building a business, I've helped thousands. I didn't chase money. I chased impact. And wealth became a natural outcome. So don't just think, how do I make money? Ask, how can I create value that the world will pay for? And finally, courage. Most people never choose both because they are afraid. Afraid to leave a secure job, afraid to start a business, or afraid to fail. But let me ask you, what's the bigger risk? Trying and failing, or never trying and living a life of regret? I faced the same question when I started my own clinic. Staying in hospital is safe. Starting a business was uncertain, but I knew that if I didn't try, I would always wonder, what if? And today, standing here, I know I made the right choice. So you don't have to pick between success and authenticity. You don't have to pick between passion and financial security. Because when you choose both, you don't just create wealth, you create freedom. The freedom to do work that fulfills you, the freedom to live life on your own terms, and the freedom to make a real impact on the world. So the real question is not, can you choose both? The question is, will you? Thank you.